This is a video tutorial program for the Express Report. The first thing we will show you is to copy Express Report folder. You would do this only to save information that you have in a report, and if you want to make a copy of your report before you clear your data to reuse the sheet. In the Express Report folder, the Excel file is called Express Report. You cannot change the name of this file, otherwise the program will not work. Since the program can only have one name, we have to keep it in a folder, and if we want to make a copy of the file, we have to make a copy of the folder. Right-click anywhere, then click New, and then click Folder. Now drag the Express Excel file into this folder. To copy the folder, right-click on the folder, select Copy. Then right-click anywhere on the screen, click Paste. You have now made a copy of your file. Now, open up the file Express Report in the folder. You will come to the main menu of the Excel file. In the main menu, you have Header Input, Property Input, Data Input, Operating Sequence, Field Data 1, Field Data 2, Gas Calculation 1, Gas Calculation 2, Flow Rate Chart, and Wellhead Chart. The last two are the Export Field Data Information and Export Gas Data Information. In the Header Input window, we have the date and locations. In here, we have added the GPS coordinates input. This is different from the previous Excel program, as it does not have this option. In this input window, we also have well properties, well information, testing period, which can be in either 24 hours or 12 hours format, and finally the operator's information, where we have added the contact number of the operator as a new input. In this window, we have three buttons: the Clear, Submit, and Close button. The Clear button clears all the inputs in the boxes. If we press the Clear button, a warning will pop up. If we press No, nothing happens. If we press Yes, then all the boxes will be cleared out, and it cannot be recovered. So we will press Yes. Now notice that all the boxes have been cleared out. If we close the window, open it again, it will all still be clear. If we type something in one of the boxes, for example in the second address, we will type Houston, Texas. Now press the Close button, and open the window again. Notice that the data is not saved. In order for it to be saved, we will have to press Submit. Let's do it again. In the address text box, type Houston, Texas, again. Now when we press Submit, close the window, and open it again, it will show up. Next, we will click on Property Input. In this window, there are gas, oil, and water properties. In the water property, we have added the load water to recover. This is the total water injected into the formation for fracturing. There are three buttons in this menu. It is exactly the same as the header input. The meter run size in the gas property corresponds to two different separators. Separator 1 refers to high-pressured separator and the separator 2 refers to low-pressured separator. If you do not have two separators, then refer to your separator rating for indication whether it is a high or a low-pressured separator. Press Close on Property Input, and we will move on to Data Input. Click on Data Input in the main menu. In the Data Input, we have the wellhead, high-pressured separator, low-pressured separator, heater, hydrogen sulfate, carbon dioxide, oil information, water information, data and time, comments, total combined gas, and time period. There are 6 buttons which are: Submit, Start New Project, Summary Calculation, Hourly Fluid Calculation, Clear, and Close button. In the high-pressured separator and the low-pressured separator, we have added the total gas production text box to indicate each separator's production in MCF. The total combined gas, from both the low and the high pressure separator is indicated here. In the oil and water information we have added the total number of barrels for each time period to monitor total current production of both oil and water. In the date and time, the format is 12 hours. Start with month, date, year a space, then hours, minutes, seconds and finally another space consecutively adding either AM or PM. The time period corresponds to each time data are entered and the submit button is clicked. For each period, there is a corresponding time and data that goes with it. For example, if the time period button is clicked up, then it would mean a later time. Similar to the header input and property input, the submit button needs to be clicked in order for the data to be recorded. Also, it is not necessary to use the up or down button. The time period is also an input, where we can enter our own number. We can also use the up and down arrow on our keyboard to navigate the time period. Close the data input, click Save, and do this often to prevent from any loss of data. Here is an example on how to navigate the time period. Using up and down button. Changing numbers inside the box. When we open the data input again, we will notice that we are in the same time period as we have left it. In the calculation tools, one of the buttons is the summary calculation. Click on this button, and notice that we have time period, total water, and the summary page. In the summary page, we have the time interval and the summary output. The time interval corresponds to the time period that is entered. When two time periods are entered, the Load Time Period button can be clicked. Notice the time interval have changed, with the output summary, as well as the total water. Though in the total water left to recover is a variable that changes only according to the second time period. The output summary is based on both of the time intervals. Press the close button and we will be back to the data input window. Click on the hourly calculation on the calculation tool. These are tools used to calculate the amount of barrels of either water or oil between any desired times. In the tank strap calculation, we have the tank factor, output volume, and tank interval. In the meter calculation we have the output volume and the meter interval. Notice that both of these sections have its own submit and clear button. Each set goes with each corresponding section. Here is an example on how to use the tools. The height of the strap tank feet and inches. If we have 5 foot 4 inches and it changes to 7 foot, we would input it this way. For the meter calculation, we will change the previous value to 23 barrels and present value to 11 barrels. This will calculate the strap volume between those intervals. Press the close button. The calculation tool does not affect any of the data input. It's just a calculation tool to assist and make our tedious job easier. Click on the Start New Project button. This window is only used if we want to start a new project. It is exactly like a clear button, except that we can clear more than one time interval. Once 2 time intervals have been entered, clicking Yes will clear the file from those intervals. Back on the main menu, click on the Operating Sequence button. Sometimes it might take a while, it's based on how much notes we have. This button will compile all the comments and the time corresponding to it. This is the print screen of the operating sequence report. Click on Close Print Preview to get back to the main menu. The 6 buttons, Field Data Separator 1, Field Data Separator 2, Gas Calculations of Separator 1, Gas Calculation of Separator 2, Flow Rates Chart, and Wellhead Chart, are the same as the previous Excel file. Though, all these buttons as well as the operating sequence can be used to produce PDF files. We can only create PDF files if we have Adobe Acrobat Reader installed in the computer. If the customer requires them to be in PDF format, we would do so here. For example, click on Field Data 1. Press Print. Click the down arrow on Name, and select Adobe PDF. Click OK. Press Save. Now it will be on the location where it was saved. Go back to the main menu. Click on Export Field Data Excel. And it will prompt a warning. This will take anywhere between 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Click OK. When the file is finished, it will request Save, Don't Save, or Cancel. Click Save, and it will be saved on the default folder. Now we have exported data from the original program. This exported file is smaller and easier to deliver to the customers. Export field data and export gas data goes through the same process. This concludes the tutorial on the Express report. If an error occurs on the program, restart the computer or contact the person in the info button in the main menu. Thank you for watching.